out to the port, and of course the Chinese left the Kakata, the Monroe. They are now become worse rainy season this year, but in between people are working. Also, the port of Monrovia is improving. The port of Sino, work is going on. The agriculture sector, the Sam Darby and the GVL, all in the oil pump sector, and the Equatorial farms, all of them are working now. They are back in the country. So things are moving. We do believe that things continue this year. We are finding ways to improve the airport, becoming the RIA, because that's the first place that people will learn when they come to the country. We need to do something about it. But I want to say generally that things are improving. A lot of businesses are picking up. But you know, Ebola was a very serious setback. You go to our neighboring countries, they are still struggling with it. So we are not completely out of the woods when we have Guinea and Sierra Leone also fighting it, because we share borders. But I want to thank God that Liberia been safe for a long time now. And we believe that if we keep it that way, things are going to improve. But you know, even after Ebola, the challenges become more. We are in recovery period. We're looking for good friends again. About a month ago, I was in New York heading an investment forum, and I was very pleased with the response that we got there from our American friends and other investors who are trying to come back to the country. That's a lot for us to do. The moment we open this place to talk, people will be talking about corruption. I know that's the question, or I know that all is not well when it comes to the conduct of people in managing the economy, but it is not also that we're just sitting down blindly and not doing anything about it. We are fighting it. I think you heard over the short period the president had a lot of dismissal. Some of the people who were in government are no longer there. But again, it's something that we have to continue to work on, because we are aware that once corruption is rampant, resources of people are mismanaged, there will be more suffering in the country for our people, especially those who are far removed. Roads are not going to be built, and the health system is not going to be improved. So we will continue to make sure that people, whether in the police force, and you know there's a drawdown going on with the UN, and by next year, at June stable. So I want to thank you, and I want to say all of you here, thank you for this building again. We are committed to assisting more. We are committed to talking with some good friends to make sure that because you have a facility like this, you have a facility such as this, you don't want to lose it. So I know we'll be holding some discussion. And we'll do everything possible to make sure that we keep this building and even make it better. Thank you very much. other thing you want to see when you have a successful story is to make it more successful. What you've done here has challenged people. They have now believed that Liberians can do something. I want to thank you. God bless upon you. Me and my entire delegation, I will pray that we continue. People generally are difficult to work with, but that's the challenge you have. You have to tolerate one another. You have to learn to work together, because you can't make it without the next person. And for us, a small society, by the time you look, you ask among you here, almost everybody will be interrelated. So we want to encourage you to continue to work together. People have a lot of respect for us, but unless we can show them that we deserve that respect, we'll lose it. Liberia, I always say to people who say, oh, I was in Liberia, that was where I left. I say, you can pawn Liberia, but you can't sell it. Liberia will always be there. We always be that country that everybody wants to be. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Let's give him another round of applause, please. Thank you so much. We have three young ladies that would like to perform for the VP before we go into our Q&A. And while they're coming, are they ready? While they're coming up, again, the dinner tomorrow evening is by the Patriots for the transformation of Liberia. So they're doing that dinner as a special project, and it's also a fundraiser. So regardless of what you heard before, it is a project by the Patriots for the transformation of Liberia. We have a few questions. If you have, we'll take one or two more. If you haven't sent your questions in, please do so quickly. While they come, let's just, it's too quiet. The Lone Star forever, the Lone Star forever, oh long may float over land, over sea. He's heard it, no never, upholding forever. Oh shout for the Lone Star banner. This land is your land, this land is my land, from Limburn County to Bush, Rhode Island, from the Mano River to Kutu Mountain. This land was made for you and me.
Everybody shock it. Shock it, shock it. Oh yeah, shock it. Shock it, shock it. Shock it. Shock it, shock it. I'm looking for that shorty. With the body I shock it. And everybody they shock it. I used to look for joy. But if you got it for body, you can't ever get a shot. Baby, please don't stop it. I wanna see you drop it now. For me now, for this now. Oh yeah, now. I shot it, ha. Mami, no one get to my body, ha. Mami, go out to my body, ha. All I want that you is to shock it, ha. Mami, no one get to my body, ha. Mami, go out to my body, ha. All I want that you is to shock it, ha. Shock it, 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 enjoy just shock it, enjoy just for a day. Anyway, I want but to just see no problem. Now what's it about you? Get you come out of such a see. I for so get here. Oh show ya back see, Oh yeah, shock it. I'm in club anything we are popping. I'm in one of the sex your jare. I want to shock it from your jare. No problem, shock it. I'm in club anything we are popping your jare. I want to shock it from your jare. Oh jare, shock it. Mami, no one get to my body. Mami, go out to my body. All I want that you is to shock it. Mami, no one get to my body. Mami, go out to my body. All I want that you is to shock it. Shock it, 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 shock it. Stop waiting, me lying. Give me food, like they say. You know, until you go through the shot, yeah, go. Corona, man, I wait to go. I am a little, I am a little, I am very low, I am a little, man, I wait on you. Go shake my way. Shakira, hello to you, Zanzibar. On the back, give me that one, let's see what I can't complain. Shock it, give my way, I can't complain. Shock it, Mami, no one get to my body, Mami, go out to my body, all I want that you is to shock it, Mami, no one get to my body, Mami, go out to my body, all I want that you is to shock it, 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 shock
Thank you very much. Let's have our seats, please. Let's have our seats, and please let's have it quiet. We now begin the questions to the Honorable Vice President. The first question, first of all, let me just apologize. We got more than we bargained for. We're only going to do about 8. And there's no any particular order. We're just taking it randomly. I just wanted to say that. I need you to know that. So if your question is not read, please. Sorry. Okay, the first question. Mr. Vice President, economic, political, social stability, and health care is only possible through national security. With that said, I am troubled by the withdrawal of the international security in the midst of pending elections. Where do we go? Will Jala?
I guess we should understand that even before the army, the security of the country was in the hands of the national. We can't shy away from it. We have problems. The people who came to help, they must go. That is why they inform us And that is why we've been preparing. You know, I don't care how long all this till there. You don't have guaranteed security unless it is in your own hands. The security of the nation is in the hands of the people. And security is not just putting police around. We're talking about security, health security, security in terms of the economy. But let me allay your fears. We are preparing for the withdrawal of all mail, and that's why we're doing this training. We've been doing it for a long time now. There's a special budget to train Liberian police to take control. The army is there, but we're talking about the general condition that make a country stable. Good immigration policy, good firefighters, good police, and all of these. So we are aware, and we are aware that the Liberians need to take care of their own security. We are preparing for it. Don't be afraid. We are on top of things, I can assure you.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Vice President, how are you and your administration or delegation ensuring that there are better educational and employment opportunities for women in Liberia? Can you describe specifically what these initiatives are doing and the impact they have made so far, if any?
Some time ago, I was going out of town, and I stopped in one of the school campuses. One of the things that really pleased me was the number of girls in school. I went to Konola, and every class I entered, about 75% of the people there were girls. You know, in Liberia, the women, as I always say, women are making moves, whether in government, whether in the civil society. Women are taking the lead. Sometimes we wonder, the women, I always say to them, in Liberia, the men make the big decisions, the women make the small decisions, but the women decide which decisions are big and which ones are small. So I don't know who is making the decision. We are very conscious of all of the girls' schools, especially like Brumley Mission. We even put Balatua, where now that has been reopened. Lakiri, they have girls there. I mean, we are doing everything because we know for sure that when you educate a woman, you educate a nation. And we are aware of that. So we are doing everything to encourage the girls in every way to keep in school. And that can only improve. It's not going to go back.
Thank you, sir. What are the prospects for passage of legislation granting dual citizenship to Liberians in the diaspora?
We know what is the benefit that other countries are reaping from dual citizenship. And we know that you didn't come here just because you wanted to come here. And we know your presence here, the contributions that you're making back home. You know, in all of these legislation, you need lobbying, people need to understand. So the debate is on. You know, in our Constitution, I'm President of the Senate. And so all of you here are asking and lobbying, and we are working together like all legislation to make sure that people will see wisdom in this request, what it will yield to our country. So we are working on it, and all of us should work together, just as we've been doing here with the temporary stay. We too come here and talk for you. So this argument is now taking ground. So let's all continue to work on it. And I can assure you that some of the people who don't understand will begin to understand the need for that.
Thank you, sir. What are your plans to address and resolve the sexual abuse of young girls at home in Liberia?
This is one unfortunate situation in Liberia. The rape cases are on the increase. We have set special courts now. In fact, there is a court added. In Liberia, rape cases are not billable. The problem here is that you also want to be careful not to have the wrong people behind bars, because sometimes people take advantage of the law and they try to incriminate people. But there is no compromise on a rape case. In fact, you have to be very careful not to be linked to it. So the cases are on the docket, and some of the delays there are for the police to be able to prove their case. Because you don't want one day for somebody to just harbor some grief and accuse you and they put you in jail and you don't come up. So if you go to the courts now, the rape cases there, most of the people that you find behind bars are people who have been accused of committing rape. So there's no compromise on rape cases. The abuse of women are tolerant. In Liberia, there's no tolerance for it. So yes, there are criminals always, but it is not that there's a compromise on this issue.
Thank you. What happened to the Manicoma Highway project from Rubio to Lofa?
It's interesting when people begin to ask about the Manicoma Highway, because if I were to be in a position to build a road, believe you me, that would be the first road I'll build. The road, the feasibility studies have been done, they're completed. In fact, some funding has been secured. The other day, people went on the road, the Kuwaitis who funded the feasibility studies, they were in Monrovia, and they saw the jubilation when they went to see the road. This is one road that this government, even if we don't finish it, but we will start. Because, you see, apart from the Manicoma Road, I am convinced that road is the most essential part of development. Without road, you can't address health issues. Without road, you can't even address educational issues. Without road, no agriculture. This country is what it is because of the roads. You can get anywhere you want to go. And we have to see roads as a priority. Some of you think about going, but you don't want to go to Monrovia. You want to go to your town. You want to go to your villages. So I think if we talk about a Marshall Plan, for me, road should be number one.
what are the areas in which you disagree with President Sirleaf?
Oh.
If you happen to succeed President Sirleaf, what are some of our policy discussions you wish to change immediately?
I think the president is aware. Let me make you know that the role of the vice president is to assist the president. And I think you hear President Sirleaf at all times, and to assist doesn't mean to agree with everything, but to advise them. And I do that as often as possible, because people always talk about a strong vice president. You want to see a very strong vice president, go to Southern Sudan. Maybe you find one there. Or go to Australia recently, where the vice president will keep. I don't think our country is looking for confrontation. We work together, and the president will be the first to tell you that I'm there to support her. The president has a huge international knowledge and so on. But you know, they also take, I always talk about people, when they come to divorce and marriage, they say for incompatibility. Life is not meant that two people from different places will be compatible. They should be complementary. I compliment the president. I'm not there for us to be compatible, to agree on everything, but I'm there to make sure that in the areas in which that I'm supposed to support her, that I do that. Now, about changing things, the government is supposed to be for continuity. If there are things that the president, this administration is doing, the president is the president. Now, when that time comes, what I see that I can do differently, you'll find it out. What I tell people say, you can't do this, you can't do that. You do not try a race car by keeping it in the garage. Put on a race car.
Going to head the reconstruction and energy program.
You want me to appoint a government that I don't have? I think when that time comes, the people will be there.
Thank you, sir. This is the final question. We had two more. Thank you. For time immemorial, landowners in Liberia had the tendency of selling their lands to more than one person, Mr. Lilburn. Where does the government stand on this criminal act?
I don't know whether you have heard the new law of criminal conveyance. When you sell land now that doesn't belong to you, not only you, the seller, but the surveyor, and all of those people are criminals. So the law is there, and the law stands. If you sell land that doesn't belong to you, the surveyor that surveyed the land, you sold the land, you are in serious trouble. So that is already a law that has been passed through the legislature.
Wow.
Thank you. So, Vice President, we're glad that you are here with us today. There is speculating news that you intend to partake in the 2017 presidential race and that Senator Prince Johnson of L.A.M.A County is your possible running mate. Would you please reconcile on such speculation?
I think this is a question that you say A and B. The A is that the people of Lilburn County have petitioned me and I accepted the petition. The B part is that I have no presidential, vice presidential candidate in mind at the moment. Not Prince Johnson, not anybody else at the moment. The process, we stay in the process, and we haven't even gotten there, so we are far from it.
Final question. Final question. Mr. Vice President, what can you do to encourage Liberians residing in the diaspora to return to Liberia in terms of security and jobs?
Well, for every country to develop, you need the best brains that you have. You need people who have learned, who have acquired skills. You need to build skills. And people who came to acquire knowledge to contribute to their country. A lot of them have gone back home. Some have gone back home, some have come back, some are in between. There was a program when we started government, they called Top 10. I think some people sitting around here were recruited to go and transfer knowledge. That was a way of encouraging Liberians to go back. And the way that worked for me is that you may go and begin to work maybe for a year or so, and eventually you condition yourself and you begin to see whether you can do something else. The encouragement of Liberians, I don't believe, will always be just to go and get employment. We want Liberians to begin to use the skills that we have here to take over the economy, begin to invest like people do in Ghana. What I can say is that if I saw Liberians doing business that they can do and replace some of these foreign investors, we should support them. We should support them. Because after all, I don't care what happens when a Liberian succeeds, they help Liberians. Other people go to take money out. So it's a combination of job and also seeking opportunities. There are a lot of jobs, even in the oil sector. There are downstream operations. That's why we call them local content. That whatever is happening, we should have some way where the Liberian can have as an entry point. I think we should begin to take advantage of that. See, the thing about Liberia, we like too much of being lonely. We want to be alone, to own it. You can't do it alone. You need resources. But if Liberians can go back, I've always been wishing. I look at it, dry cleaners, until I saw one Z dry cleaner owned by a Liberian. In the future, a lot of people can't find a place to wash clothes. A good laundromat, it would take time. Everything you start, there are challenges. We're building the highways. I was telling somebody, instead of people driving outside the road, parking cars to ease themselves, has somebody come with some franchise that on the side of that road will put some place there, a little restaurant, some fast food, or something. There are a lot of things to be done. So we want to make sure that when Liberians get engaged in those kind of things, that they can get the support. And it's not just employment. Government can only employ a very small number of people. But we should encourage Liberians to go into business. If you don't trust your own country to invest in, we don't want to do that. So there are Liberians that are investing. And for me, if the choice is between you and the foreigner, I always want to make sure that we support the Liberian.
Thank you very much, sir. That concludes the question and answer period. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please give them, His Excellency, another big round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you. At this time, we will have a remark from the Liberian Embassy perspective of this program and everything else. So we're going to ask the Honorable Jeremiah C. Solente, Liberian Ambassador to the United States, to give us a brief remark.
Thank you. Good evening. Mr. Vice President, with your indulgence, I know protocol would not allow anybody at our level to speak after a distinguished personality. But we were asked that from the embassy point of view, we should add a little update. So with your indulgence, and I salute the board of L.A.M.A, the officers and members of L.A.M.A. I'd like to appreciate the fellow Liberians, mothers and fathers here tonight. I want to just report in this public manner, while our Vice President is here, that the relationship between Liberia and the United States has gotten stronger. When we took over, we witnessed the signing of the partnership agreement between Liberia and the United States. That relationship since the 1800s has not been institutionalized until 2013 when it was signed by the then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and President Shirley. Meaning, even if President Shirley was out of the mansion, if President Obama was out of the White House, there is an institutionalized relationship now that we can build upon. That relationship emphasis would be on agriculture, human development, and energy infrastructure. And I'm sure you will be happier to note that it is out of that agreement that Liberia was selected as one of the 7 Power Africa countries by President Obama. So, energy infrastructure. I also like to report that quite recently on October 3rd, the Liberian government and the Millennium Challenge Corporation signed $256.7 million to support the Mancoffey hydro plant. Maybe some of you are already aware of the WAP project, the West African Power Pool, that Liberia was also able to sign onto that. And about a year and a half ago, Downtown was able to get electricity. Complete was able to get electricity. If you have ever heard about the cross-border electricity between Liberia and Ivory Coast,
Yes.
between Grand Judea and Nimba border, these are good things that come to our country. I know that we, most of the time, we spend our time to find out the bad side. But I wonder if we ever find time to see what are the other good things that are happening. I'm Jeremiah, but I'm not here to preach. But those of you who live either in Calcutta or Bombay, have you ever asked yourself that those many years that the Germans were in Burma, were there a paved road from Calcutta to Burma. The 19 miles of road. Go and see the improvement. You can drive from here to the junction to the port of Buchanan. If you're not careful, you can close your eyes and drive.
Wow.
The last time I was in Liberia, I drove from Banga to Ganta in less than 45 minutes.
Wow.
Now, is there a way that we can try to ask what's the other side rather than just corruption? Now, I don't want to go into that because the Vice President has already talked about it. But have you followed the World Report on the fight of corruption? The latest report of 171 countries. Liberia ranked 78 out of 171 countries in fighting corruption. We are better than Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Ghana in West Africa. If I had to compare, the great United States is number 9. It's not number 1. Am I speaking to somebody? We are number 9 here in fighting corruption. Liberia just 78 out of 171 countries. We still got more to go, but at least we are fighting. Okay? So from the embassy, I mean, these are records, these are research that we do. Maybe a lot of us can be so busy working, we don't discover that. But it's necessary to bring out that out. The important thing that I think the Vice President has said is love for country. We should start to sow the seed for love for our country. So that tomorrow our children's future will be better than ours today. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate it. I'm going to say this anyway. We're really sorry, sir. The breach of protocol as far as the program goes happened when somehow the MC got a copy that's different from the original, and this one did not have an ambassador on there. So we really apologize for that. I want to make that clarification. So at this time, we're going to call on Mr. Joseph Reeves, the L.A.M.A. Chairman of the Board of Directors, to do special thanks and appreciation.
Yo! What's the matter with L.A.M.A? What's the matter with the Liberian community? Mr. Vice President, Honorable Joseph M. Barker, Mr. Jeremiah Sante, Honorable Ambassador, Honorable Cynthia Nash, Mr. Tama, representative of Judah, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished board of directors, Madam Acting President, our distinguished advisory board chair, Mr. Alexander Cummings, our guest, Ambassador for Goodwill to the UN, Dr. Valerie. We are glad and happy you can be in our midst today. Let me first put this entire program into perspective. I first want to pay tribute to our predecessors, all of our former presidents. And I see Mrs. Mayberry Green. Will you please stand? Because sometimes we forget where we started, to bring us at this point in place. Also, I want to recognize Mr. Robert Gagwa, former president and former chairman of the board. I'm sorry, Mr. Glenman Galboa. This whole idea was pregnated from our predecessors. And this administration is proud to say that we delivered the project. And it started in 2012 when Mr. L.A.M.A took over as president. And as a goodwill ambassador, traveled to Liberia and engaged our honorable distinguished vice president to grace our occasion, which he gladly accepted. And he did not only just accept, he also came, we talked to him, and we decided to name the building in his honor, and which he accepted. He did not stop there. He started recruiting. He looked upon on the other side. He said, "I got to get Brother Cummings on board," which he did. And by Brother Cummings accepting the vice president invitation to come, we asked him to please chair our advisory board. And Mr. Cummings also wanted to say thank you for your leadership, and you have contributed. I mean, we don't even know where to start from to say thank you. So we are very grateful to you. The vice president also made additional contacts. If you don't know, I think a year in $300,000 grant and all of that stuff. It was one of the contacts that the vice president made in terms of coming to help the community. And each time Brother Neon come to our community, he threw in $1,000 to $2,000 to this project. So through your effort, Mr. Vice President, we are very much grateful to you. Words I didn't adequately to express how we appreciate your kindness and your gesture. We will and always be indebted to you for your generosity that you impose upon this community. Thank you very much. I also want to thank our community because you were the one that made this project come to reality by your involvement, by your $1, the $2 that you put into this project that led us to this place as well. So I want to say thank you. You can give yourself a clap as well. I also want to recognize Mr. Bill Harris, and in his absence, Mr. Larry Crawford. They were the project manager for this building. And they worked day and night to make sure, because the president said that we must have this place open July 26th project. And we have 2 months. And Pastor Harris, the commander is also indebted to you. We want to say thank you. So again, the Liberian community, we are where we are today. We want to say a big thank you to every one of you for your effort. In the midst of our disagreement, we are where we are today. You all play a vital role in this project, and it's our responsibility to make sure we keep this project alive. I also want to recognize in his absence, our sitting president. Despite of all our differences, our sitting president worked hard. So he worked hard. Despite of our differences and all of the things. So when credit is due, we must give it credit. So again, Uncle, as a son, I'm very proud to associate myself with you, and I'll always be indebted to you, and I'll make sure that your interest is always protected. And God bless you, and God bless the Liberian community. The last that can you please come forward? She has a presentation to make to the Vice President.
His Excellency, the Honorable Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. I want to take this time to say, welcome to Georgia, to America in Georgia also. And I want to say, thank you for all that you and the President have done for Liberia, for our people. When you took over 2005, the Lord led me to go to Liberia 3 months. When I got to Liberia, I was looking for Liberia, but I couldn't find it. That's how bad it was. Before the plane landed, Strecker was on board the plane. And I asked him, I said, Strecker, where is Liberia? He said, you're right over Liberia. And the Lord led me to go to take care of the children. So I work alongside with you in caring for the children. At the time, the Lord gave me 43 kids. And just within that time, I fed 5,000 children when they had a refugee camp in Smenotes and the area. They almost killed me because they were hungry. I carried toys, I carried food, I carried everything for them. We started building our school. We have in Nidonwe, Mikey County. We started it with 17 classrooms. And today, as I speak, the school is complete. Mr. Vice President, we also started a vocational building, 7 rooms. And we also started 7-room clinic building also. Right now, as we speak, we're building a guest house. So in case when a missionary leave from here to go to have somewhere to live and be and associate with the kids and not to live in Monrovia. And from there, we are building our dormitories, boys and girls dormitory. I don't know how they really happen, but when God said go, He will go ahead of you. And He will take care of you. He will do what He's supposed to do. And I have been depending on Him. And He has helped us. We have come this far. Right now, as I speak, we have 44 containers that we're sending. We don't even know. The Honorable Chief of Staff, Mary Alice, and I have joined to ship. We have food, we have everything for Christmas. Every Christmas, we go, the Lord has led us. We go to Boakai, to the prison compound. We feed the prisoners. After we leave from there, Your Honor, we go to Buchanan prison also. We feed them. We feed the whole community. Ebola, we were able to distribute Ebola buckets. We bought everything and sent it. God has been good to us. But all we do, we have not been recognized, but God has recognized us. So we're not here to publicize or to make people to think who we are. But I just want to say sometimes we are undercover, we work undercover. But God has sent us to do. So on behalf of Trinity Children's Center, which is in Liberia, and Trinity Children's Center in America also, we take this time to present to you, Your Honor, the children of Liberia are your children. Trinity Children's Center belongs to you, and also to our dear president. So I present those children into your hands as your children. Thank you so much.
Let me thank you very much for the good things you're doing. But let me say to you, I know what it means to do these good things, because some people are not out for publicity. But sometimes, for the people here who are helping you to know that we support these kind of things, let us know. Let me assure you, the next time you're in Liberia, or even before you get there, if you have a representative, make sure they reach our office.
Church, 5 Church Street in Duluth, Georgia. Tickets will not be there, will not be available tomorrow evening. So please get your tickets here tonight. We start, the president has tickets. The chairman of the board has tickets. Reverend Harris, Lois Harris. So you can get your tickets tonight. It's very important. Please try to get your tickets tonight. It's very important. This is a very important project as well. So we all want to support me. Thank you. I will now call on Miss Taniqua Ross, who's going to lead us in the singing of the national anthem. Thank you all so very much.
Can we all stand for the singing of our national anthem? It can be found on the back of your program. On some of the programs, if you don't have it on the back of your program, please share with your neighbors.
sorry. We'll call on the chaplain for the community, Reverend Holly Cooper. Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for today. Thank you for yesterday. And we are thanking you for tomorrow. Thank you for traveling mercy for our Vice President and his delegation. Thank you for taking us home safely. Tonight, we pray that your blessing will be upon him where he stay here in the United States, and all that he came to do will be well accomplished. We will thank you for the refreshment that you provided. Bless it to our body. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Attention, please. Will you please stay in place while the Vice President and the delegation leave first? Please stand in place. Thank you. Please stand in place.
I saw him coming this way. It does. How do you do this? Put it on your flash or put it on automatic.
So, press up.
Can you go down the right way? It's on? Did you put on flash? There you go. What are you going to the other place?
That's right. We can't be long. He got to go. And we have to talk with him. But it's a special day. Madam Secretary. Let's say please, those of you that's supposed to be here, the fourth and then they can please have
He's here. I saw him. Thank you. Ambassador? Thank you so much. Okay.
Everybody sit there now. Get your
Sila, listen. Guys, this is supposed to be a very close meeting with the vice president and the leadership. You're pleased that this is our liaison. This is that's all. We need to have a that's fine. What's here?
You deserve. For you. Stand up.
Don't get against the seat.
How you do that? Let's pray. Let's pray. Father, thank you for our body,
Camera. Camera, everybody.
I have tteokbokki, jollof rice, chicken. I got table and cake. That's a little thing
No, banyak kumat.
Yes, you might. Let the rest of us gather and get something to eat. And this is yes. Just over the gentleman. But we can get out. Yeah, we can.
one of the board members.
Everyone, let's share something to eat.
All right. The car coming here. Hello. Yeah. Very good.
It's for the council. I know. Okay, sorry. It's a plaque for the council.
For the council?
I understand.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
I'll call you. Please. Where are we?
No, not this one. But I'm actually. I'm looking for my
Cynthia, give me. Cynthia.
Remember
the bus?
Yes.
Where's the bus?
The other president, they can just other way around.
You got it?
But why you go with your brother-in-law?
I know who brother-in-law.
BJ, please take my brother home.
You brought me. If you ain't got car, be there going to the other side, go to the hotel. You have to carry me now.
Kim.
No, these are
The battery probably low and very low. Not taking more. Okay.
But why we sit down right now?
Yes, last was
okay, y'all go. Me, I go home. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, Lordy, I'm tired.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, good and rain an hour.
Yeah, because that's what I was told.
Yeah, I think it's the battery.
Yeah. If it's blinking.
Oh.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, then it's done. I have another one, but that's okay. No, turn it off and turn it back on. It should be okay.
Okay. I think you guys covered that before. It was acting
What are you doing there? How did you get there like that? What are you doing?
Where are you?
I mean, God said it.
I'm not trying to get one. I'll call you.
He's the director over president of the association. It's a short license guy right there. You see the guy with the yellow shirt right there holding him? He's got his arm around him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we want to take this opportunity to thank our people for coming out for the support. We really appreciate, the hospitality and the support given the Vice President. We're hoping we can see them tomorrow at the program, and we really appreciate it. And thank you too for your hard work as well, the woman behind the camera.